Hi everyone, welcome back to the living room. Today we have a very, very special and a very beautiful guest on this show with me. Hi Kristen, how are you today?
Hello, hi.
You want to just share with us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure, my name is Kristen. I am a civil engineer in the New York City construction industry. I am also an international swimsuit model and a beauty queen. I am the current Miss New York City. And I'm very happy to talk to you guys today. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, and we are very happy to have you. I mean, I think I've read your bio and what you do, and I think it's really phenomenal. For someone like for someone to appreciate that they are also beautiful, that they have things that they enjoy doing, at the same time not give up on a career. I think that's really amazing. Do you want to like share your journey of what actually got you started?
What got me started in my career, like my professional career?
Yes, in your professional career, what got you interested in that?
Well, when I went to school, my parents sent me to private Catholic schools, and I always excelled academically, especially in science and math. And when I went on to high school, I was taking some college courses, including architecture. And when I was 17, I participated in the Manhattan College Summer Engineering program for high school students. So when I was 17, I went and took a college program over the summer. Voluntarily, I went to school over the summer to make sure that I was going to get into, college when the time came. And when I took the engineering program, I wanted to be a chemical engineer. I wanted to make a makeup and a perfume line maybe. But, I went into the program, and it teaches you about all types of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math professions. And I met a professor there who introduced me to civil engineering. And, civil engineers are in such high demand. And I felt that it was a very safe career. I felt that I would always have like job security. And I started my career doing bridge design, like doing calculations and drafting plans. And being in the office became very complacent. I got very bored, and I wanted to be out where the action was. So then I went out into construction. And so now I'm working on the construction side. I work for a general contractor. And I have a $16 million project in Brooklyn right now. I'm replacing the sewer and the water mains in Crown Heights.
That's really amazing that you have found something that you are passionate about, and it's really I personally feel, coming from Asia, it's not a typical kind of major that a lot of women will go into.
It's not. There aren't many women. I had some classes actually where I was the only girl, but I didn't really seem to mind it, and even now, like it's not so bad working, with men.
The whole thing, because you are actually in a very male-dominated industry, and I think that's where we are actually going to have just a little bit more to take this discussion going into that area where we're going to talk about like gender stereotypes, especially in a male-dominated industry, right? I mean, you feel that sometimes you don't get your way, and you are also like your views are always overlooked. I mean, do you have that kind of a feeling when you first started to go for your meetings, or attend or you go for you talk to people about your ideas, and you feel like no, it's just being overlooked? Have you experienced that?
Yes, I feel. Yeah, I feel that way. I feel that way all the time, actually. And it's really it's really just kind of very frustrating because I work very hard, and I feel like I've excelled throughout my life, and I'm not asking anyone for a handout or anything. I'm just asking for a fair opportunity, and it's really hard. it's not an easy thing, and I would really love to see more women come into the industry, because I feel like that's really the only way that we're going to, balance out the playing field.
Other challenges do you feel that women will face when they enter, some of this particularly male-dominated industries? I would say like construction is one, mining is definitely another one, where you don't see a lot of women. Anything that's related to maybe like engineering, for example. Like, what challenges should a woman expect when they go into this kind of industry? Like, what kind of mindset should they be, ready with?
Oh gosh, I mean, you have to be real thick-skinned, and I've been doing this for so long, and when I was younger, I used to lose my temper a lot, and I used to get very upset about certain things. And now that I'm a little bit older and I have a little bit more experience, I think I have a little bit of a better perspective as far as, I still go home crying. Friday, I had a bad morning at work, and I cried most of the morning and cried and worked. And it's so funny because I'm like, this is construction. Like, it doesn't change, it's not changing, but, it's, I don't want to give up. It's something that, I'm passionate about and I do love. So I'm just kind of jumping through hoops and rolling with the punches, and, I'm trying my best. But the types of challenges that women are facing is, you face like mansplaining. Have you ever heard of like mansplaining? It's like when a man like continually like talks over you. Like when you're trying to say something, he doesn't let you talk. Like he's constantly talking over to you, or he talks to you like he's talking down to you, or that he's being, like you put up with a lot of mansplaining. Also, another thing I noticed is like men and women think different and we communicate different. So sometimes I feel like there's a lot of miscommunication between men and women. I also think that men don't really have they're not as empathetic as women. So I find that makes them not as good managers. What else? What other challenges do I face? I mean, I face certain challenges, not just because I'm a woman, but, most engineers are conservative, introverted, nerdy, and I'm outgoing. I'm a free spirit. I model, and my modeling pictures are out there on, social media. And I feel that sometimes people judge me by my social media or by the way that I look. And I do feel like there's this like mindset where if a man sees a woman as attractive, then she can't possibly be smart too, and why does, that still exist? I don't know, because, I work hard, I do the right thing, I give it everything that I got. And if I looked like a man, if I was, 6'5" and big and buff instead of a small, tiny little smoke show, then I would be killing it. If I was a big, tough looking guy, people would listen to me and they would respect me, and I would have more opportunities open to me. I'm not trying to bitch or complain or sound negative, but that is the truth.
And I do agree with you on that, because I think a lot of times, especially for someone who has, I think we have two different sides. And the reason why for women it's so easy is because we can actually sometimes put aside our personal or professional life. It doesn't interfere with the other part of it. So at work, we can be a little bit more corporate, we can be a little bit more professional, but on a personal side, we can be totally different. But when people don't really know the real you, they judge you based on what they've seen or what they've heard. And they make these assumptions thinking that maybe she's not so good. Maybe she's just here for, by chance, or maybe she's just trying to see if it's going to work. So they don't really give you that time of day, or they don't really value your input. But I think sometimes this is like something that as women we can address it. We we want to be heard, we want our opinions to matter, and there are times I think we need to actually come to a place where we can actually tell someone off directly on the face is, no, you know what, this is wrong. If you're talking down to me, that's wrong. If you feel like my opinion doesn't matter, if and you're trying to kind of like speak over me,
right?
I think there should be a place where we should just walk away from it.
I've been in positions where that's happened to me, and I did walk away, and I was just fired. It's almost like sometimes I almost feel like it's a little bit of a lose-lose situation. It's like, how do you win? How do you how do you get ahead?
I think it's really a common problem that's faced in a lot of places, in a lot of countries even. But I think it's really just to stand up, just to walk away from it, because a lot of times we try, or at times we just keep quiet, and it doesn't go away. And I think it needs to come from a place like sometimes we just, there are certain things that we would not give into. There are certain things like we just won't, it's basically like I'm not going to give in. I'm just going to have my views said. And I think really social media helps a lot, because if someone else doesn't want to listen to us in a meeting, right, we can always take it offline. There are so many opportunities where you can actually talk and say, this is, what, I have these ideas, this is what I want to do. And you see a lot more women, successful women, coming up these days. And we basically do a lot more. I mean, it's as in, we are good managers because we have empathy, and we know how to build relationships. We also know how to manage our time. And I think these are some of the things that we need to get it out there and be recognized for. What have you been doing, Kristen, on your part, to advocate this?
What have I been doing? Well, I mean, it was one of the reasons why I wanted to become Miss New York City. I kind of went out with like this goal, like I want to have some kind of an opportunity to talk about this, and I want people, to listen to me, and how am I going to do this? And I was already doing beauty pageants, and I said, well, I think I should go for Miss New York City. And I felt that would give me a platform to be recognized. And now I'm Miss New York City for 2021 as well, which is, really exciting. And I'm really hoping to just spread the word and get out there and talk about my experiences. And hopefully what I've learned along the way, I can pass on to women who are younger than me. And hopefully they can handle these situations better, and they won't have to go through what I've gone through.
And that's pretty good, because you're actually sharing from your experiences. And I think when you've walked that journey, and when you actually bring it across to other women to tell them, this is what I've went through, and this is what I've done, people can tap on it, and people can actually improvise on it. And it also encourages the younger generation, the women out there, to really stand up for themselves. But was there a point, a defining moment in your life where you felt like, I have to do this for myself? Like, was there a breaking point in your life?
I feel like I've had a few defining moments in my life. Well, my parents are very old school, old-fashioned. I grew up old school Italian, so they don't really understand what I'm trying to do as Miss New York City. and, you know, they don't understand what I'm trying to do, you know, with the modeling. So they aren't really too involved with that as far as, you know, my life goes. And that was something that was a big struggle for me, an opportunity that, you know, I don't want to pass up. And I feel like, you know, that was definitely a defining moment, becoming Miss New York City. Some other defining moments have been just things that have happened, you know, throughout my career. It's really been baby steps. Like when I think back to who I was, you know, 10 years ago, oh my God, like I was a completely different person. I got divorced, you know, I left an abusive marriage. I had to start all over again, bought a home, learned to live by myself. And, you know, that goes against my culture. You know, women are supposed to live home with their families until they get married, with, you know, to a man. And, you know, so I guess I kind of always felt like I was a little bit of the black sheep. And so anyway, there have been these moments in my career where it was kind of like I had to stand up for myself or become, you know, like a doormat, you know? And so it's kind of been like baby steps, because I used to be really afraid to stand up for myself, and I wouldn't say anything, and I would feel very uncomfortable and very unhappy. A couple of years ago, and I remember my boss at that time, he was really old school. He was tough, man. Oh my gosh, he used to scream in my face in front of all the guys on site, and I used to get so upset and so embarrassed. And on top of that, I remember we had a fight once in construction. Like, you're constantly yelling and screaming and fighting. Like, that's just like normal life. My boss and I were screaming at each other, and I said, you know, I have 13 subcontractors that I'm managing here, and everyone else has 4 or 5. And it's not right. You're overloading me. And he turns around and he's like, you have 13 subcontractors because you can handle it and they can't. You know, like, we're screaming at each other, you know. But one night he did something below the belt. It was the 2 of us in the trailer working late, and I heard him on the phone, and he was like, you should see my engineer. She's drop dead gorgeous, but otherwise clueless. She has no idea what's going on. I just tell her to go bat her eyes at the Port Authority and they give her whatever she wants because she's a blonde bombshell. So I'm sitting in my office and I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like, are you serious? So I got up from my desk and I go over to his office and I knock and I'm like, and he was still on the phone. And I'm like, I just heard everything you just said about me. I said, I cannot believe you would say that about her. How much I work. I'm here 10, 12 hours a day. I'm carrying 75% of the project. And that's what you have to say about me. You know, and so, you know, like, he hangs up the phone and he comes over to me and he apologizes. And, you know, it's just, I think back then at the time I was so upset and I cried the whole way home because I was really working very hard and I felt so devalued. But now, you know, now that I look back at it, you know, I can kind of laugh. I mean, it wasn't right that he said that, but at least I can look back on it and laugh. But it was a defining moment where I was like, you know what, it's time for me to, you know, just stand up and start standing up for myself, because if I don't, it's, you know, it's not going to change. And so, you know, that was one small, you know, baby step. You know, that's what I've been doing. I've worked in some very abrasive environments. I was once superintendent in New York City on a building. It was the largest residential high-rise going up in Manhattan. I was the only woman super. So I had hundreds of construction workers who reported to me. And the tradesmen were very respectful, and I felt that they liked having a woman around. But I did get a great deal of harassment from some of my other supers. You know, so it's like every project that I've gone to or every job that I've gone to, I've dealt with different challenges, and I don't have all the answers. So I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go along.
I think it's very brave of you, Kristen, to do what you're doing, because I think it's not easy. It's really not easy, given in that time and space when you're doing your best and your results are, you know, whatever you're doing is not being recognized. That's one thing for sure. But to have to face this, you know, constant belittling, constant kind of like, you know, put downs, I would say, it's really not easy, because at the end of the day, you really are passionate about what you are doing and you really want to do your best. But all this can also have a can emotionally affect you as well. And I think you're still very, very brave for, you know, coming all this way and still not giving up on this. And I just want to, you know, I know that you will get somewhere, and I know that all this work that you're doing, this baby steps that you take, right, it's not gonna just stop there. You know, you're going to see the results very, very soon. And during this journey, right, when you have all these challenges, when you feel it's so tough to go on, so what keeps you going? What do you do when you find that, you know, I don't want to face another day? I mean, we come to that kind of stage where we feel it's so hard, and we feel like, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to wake up and even attempt to go to work. So when you come to a point like that, what do you do to keep yourself going?
I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. After I was a superintendent, I was kind of like, I don't know. After that, I was like, I don't know if I want to go back to construction anymore. So I did take a little bit of time off, and I did do some other things. I focused on my modeling a little more. And after about 6 weeks, I just kind of felt disappointed in myself, because I do have this education and I did come all this way, and I missed the job, you know. I missed what I did, and I decided that, you know, I was going to find a way to, you know, juggle both my passions, you know, being in construction and pursuing my modeling. But I have to also point something out there. I do see some changes. I know that they're very small, but I do notice some changes. Like right now, I'm working for a very small general contractor. It's family owned, and they're very, very old school, very, very old fashioned, and all the men who own it are very old school. And I don't think they're really used to having a woman like me around. And even though like it's been a challenge, I do like see some positive changes. The owner is probably, you know, well, he's my father's age, you know, because his sons are my age. And he's not used to having someone like me around. And to be honest with you, I'm not used to working with someone who's so old school either. So the two of us have really kind of been like adjusting to each other. And I can definitely tell, you know, that he makes a very conscious effort in making me feel comfortable, you know, in the office, and, you know, being part of the company. And so I do see some changes, you know, like he and I are probably polar opposites, but yet we work together every day. And even though sometimes we disagree, you know, I can see that he makes an effort, you know, to make it work. So, you know, seeing those positive changes, you know, at my own job is something that definitely keeps me going. And another thing, you know, that keeps me going is I've, you know, found so many haters throughout the years, whether they're men or women. And I know that they're all out there watching me. And so I can't let them win, you know. I have to bring my best, especially being Miss New York City. When people think of New York City, they think, you know, the best, you know. So I feel like I really need to, you know, I really need to bring my A game.
And that's really true, because it's not only the title, but it also comes with the responsibility. And I think that what you are doing right now, it also helps people to look up to you. And when you share stories like this, like how you overcome your fears, how you are, you know, you against the odds, you actually go full on to pursue the passion that you have. I think all these are really admirable traits, and it will really impact the people that you come across with? Because, you know, one day when you are really shining in that industry of yours, right, you look back and you can share about the challenges that you've gone through, what made you keep on moving. And I think and I feel like you are kind of a person that really wants to, you know, take that challenge into your hands. You know, you're not the one that kind of like really sit down and say, you know what, I'm just gonna let it go, I'm not gonna do anything, but you're really proactively doing something about it.
Yeah, yeah. And also I have to point out, like, sometimes you have to pick your battles too, you know. I think that men are also, trying to get used to women being in the industry too. And, I don't think they're all so bad.
And is there a support group that you actually tap on when, you know, for me personally, I believe in community. So I kind of have a strong community that I tap onto whenever I need, like, you know, when I'm down on my resources or I just need someone to talk to. So do you have a community like that you tap into?
Oh, yes. Well, I have my Swimsuit USA sisters.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you, like, uh, I had the opportunity to travel throughout the Philippines in model swimsuits with Bikini Team TV. And I had a very scary experience with a young girl who had been trafficked. And the experience really frightened me. When I went back to my room and I was by myself, I was so nervous. And basically, I was, on Instagram talking to all my Swimsuit USA sisters. And since we live all over the world, there's someone awake 24 hours a day, to talk to. And, or when I'm, away for a photo shoot and I'm homesick, I'll text them. So it's really, I love doing beauty pageants. I know some people think it's an outdated concept, but I think that it's a wonderful way to, meet friends and gain confidence and, build a platform to be recognized. So I have my Swimsuit USA girls as my, as my backup.
And as a potential woman leader, right, what are the traits that you feel that a woman should have in leadership?
Well, you certainly are going to have to be thick-skinned, and you're going to have to be brave, opinionated, outspoken, fair, kind. And you have to be willing to stick up for others. And you have to be willing to state your opinions, even when it's not going to be the most popular opinion.
It's true because one of the things I think we women have is we are definitely not really thick-skinned. Sometimes, that's really the I think that's the most important thing. If you want to term it another way, we could say it's like more like perseverance, because we just keep on going. We might face rejections, but we said, okay, you know what, let's keep on doing this, let's keep on going, and there will be a point of time when that opportunity that you've been working on, or that door that you've been banging so hard, it has to open, right?
Of course, yeah, it will.
Yeah. And Kristen, for yourself, right, is there a quote that you live by?
I do have a motto, and it's called breaking barriers one bikini at a time, or breaking stereotypes one bikini at a time, and meaning I don't really fit the criteria of a construction manager, and when I go to beauty pageants, I don't really know anyone else who's an engineer or doing construction. So I feel like I'm really trying to break these stereotypes, and I'm doing it by marketing myself as both a professional and a beauty queen and public figure. And I hope that by combining these two things into one, I can make some kind of a difference.
And I like that quote that you have given. Really, is about breaking stereotypes. And some of the things that you have said that really impacted me during our discussion was not only like, not giving up, trying to, really push your way through and picking your own battles. I really like that. I think sometimes we as women, we have so many things that we have to attend to in work, in our relationships. But, if we are going to go at everything, we are just going to be burnt out. So it's really wise to pick your own battles, to see like, what, this is the one thing I'm going to focus on, and that's it. And I really think that's really a wise wise thing to say. Like what you're saying, that in terms of really breaking stereotypes, is really to show yourself as, I'm not only this person, but I have multiple facets in me that I'm good at this, but I'm equally good at that. And I think that's what you're trying to show out there, that you're not just the swimsuit pageant, that you're not only just a model, but you're just so much more than that, in terms of your career and what else what else are you doing right now. As we are coming to the end of the section, right, is there any takeaways that you would like to leave with the viewers out there?
Well, right now I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And, stay clear of the corona. I heard, that's not good. And keep pursuing your dreams, and hit me up on Instagram.
Thanks so much, Kristen. We will definitely share Kristen's social media, links on our website and on this YouTube channel, so you can definitely follow her. And I do personally look forward to what you're going to achieve in the next couple of months. And I do really hope that maybe we can collaborate again together, maybe, a panel or something else. That there will be a point where I would really love to collaborate with you to really talk about this topic even more, because it's really something that's close to my heart, and I've encountered this. And it's not easy. I really know it's not easy when you actually come from an environment where you're totally overlooked, your views doesn't matter. People put down on you in terms of your leadership, on how you run things. And Kristen, even for myself, I was very soft-spoken when I started out in my career. I was very soft-spoken, and that was always used against me, saying that you're not loud enough, you're not vocal enough. But I think I had to come to a place to really know that I am comfortable with what I am, and that what makes me a good leader. I don't have to change my personality. I don't have to be like someone else. I'm just effective as who I am. When you have come through with it, it's so satisfying. You have that satisfaction, and you see how much your life and people like my lives impact the rest of the other women out there. So it's really an inspiration. I'm so happy to have met you on this platform. I'm so happy to have heard your story, and I wish you all the best going forward. And Merry Christmas to you as well, and a great New Year.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon then. Bye, Kristen.